From Smithville to Shawnee Mission, you're listening to Mundo in the Morning on 95.7 FM, KCMO Talk Radio.
Missouri Congressman Mark Alford is joining us on KCMO Talk Radio 95.7 FM. Of course, he also hosts the show Mark Alford's Capital Recap here on 95.7 FM, Saturday afternoons, and then again on Sunday mornings, 1 p.m. on Saturday, 8:30 on Sunday. The Congressman is here, of course, Operation Epic Fury. Also, once again, for the second time in a year, including the B-2 stealth bombers out of Whiteman Air Force Base. Good morning, Congressman. What can you share with us on what came out of Whiteman this weekend and what's going on there right now?
Well, actually, we just got in the car. We're headed to Jeff City to file for re-election, and we'll be passing by, I think, Whiteman Air Force Base, or at least the exit for that. It's very exciting that our men and women from Whiteman Air Force Base were involved again in this decapitation effort of the Iranian regime. It looked like it worked. You know, back in July, they decapitated the nuclear capabilities and they started to reconstitute. And I'm so glad that we have a president who believes in the mission of the 509th, the fighter wing out there, and the bomber wing that is doing great things for America. And to be a part of that, I think it really shows the strength and resolve of the not just the American people in this presidency, but also the men and women in uniform who are willing to risk their lives to make the world a better place. This regime for 47 years has been a bully on the world stage. I remember in college the Iranian hostage crisis. This Ayatollah has killed thousands. He has bombed. Now he's bombing other members of the Middle East there, who are used to not maybe be friends, but were somewhat sympathetic of the attitude that Israel was not a friend to the Middle East. That tune is changing. And by decapitating, by eliminating the Ayatollah in that regime, I think you're going to see some headway now with Saudi Arabia joining the Abraham's Accords and other nations falling in line to restore peace and order and to truly have peace in the Middle East.
The politics coming out of the weekend, Congressman, included, of course, a lot of questions over the president's war powers. You heard that from Emmanuel Cleaver here in Kansas City and many other Democrats. What's your read on where that debate will go from here in Congress and how far the president can take it when it comes to Operation Epic Fury and the fallout from it?
Well, look, the administration did clearly notify the Gang of Eight, the top 8 people in Congress. They were well aware of this for, I think, better than a week, that this was going to happen. If Reverend Cleaver and others think that they are going to come to Congress and have a high-level skiff, actually we're going to have a briefing Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern time on this, but to think that members of Congress are going to be individually or in a group briefed on a strike of this magnitude, that's not going to happen. Because members of Congress, unfortunately, leak. And I don't know if it's intentionally or just out of, for whatever reason, they share information that should not be out there. And we could not afford for that information to get out. There will be a vote, I think, Thursday that a bill has come up that's now ripened that we will be voting on the Democrats want to kneecap, I think, the president and prevent him from future strikes in Venezuela and Iran. Tom Massey is on that, along with Ro Khanna. I'm hoping it will fail, but here's the situation we're at, Pete. We have a 1-seat majority now in the U.S. House of Representatives. We cannot afford to lose more Republicans on this issue. I don't think we will. I think the American people are seeing that this was the right thing to do to not just prevent future strikes on Israel, but also a future ballistic missile fire on the United States of America, which was becoming a real possibility due to intelligence that they had gathered.
Missouri Congressman Mark Alford is joining us on KCMO Talk Radio, 4th District. He's going down to Jeff City to file for re-election, of course, this year. We'll get to that here in a minute. I want to ask you as well, Congressman, about the partial shutdown that exists right now. We know over the weekend there was an attack down in Austin, Texas on 6th Street, their popular entertainment district. It looks like that may have been motivated in part by Operation Epic Fury and a terrorism response to what happened in Iran over the weekend. How does the partial shutdown impact any investigations around this? And how does it also prevent DHS from doing its job on trying to prevent future attacks in the days and weeks to come?
Pete, this is the most pressing issue right now here at the Homeland. We must fund fully the Department of Homeland Security. You know, the Democrats instigated this partial shutdown because they did not like ICE and the way it deported illegal aliens from our great nation. But we fully funded ICE through the One Big Beautiful Bill for 4 years. They're holding hostage now Homeland Security, the TSA, the Coast Guard, Secret Service, and our cybersecurity units trying to keep us safe in the cyber world. And so they basically kneecapped the Department of Homeland Security. They're holding Americans hostage now in the fact that we are less secure now than we were. And we have cells here in America let in by the past administration, Islamic terrorism cells that are here waiting to strike. And we must be ready for that. We must counter that. And it's not just in Austin, Texas. It is all over America. I'm not going to get into the nitty-gritty details, but I do want people to be very careful in the next 2 to 3 weeks.
That includes Kansas Cityans?
Yes.
Okay. Well, how about you as you get set to file for re-election later today in Jeff City? You know, this will be what, your third election, right, Congressman, that you're getting set for? Third election, second re-election bid. You know, the district's going to look different this year. So how does that change your approach?
Well, it doesn't change how I work or my message. It's still a conservative Republican message, America First message. It will propel us into a new area, gaining some of the old 5th Congressional District, downtown Kansas City, the Plaza, Crown Center area, basically everything west of 71 Highway from the river down to all the way to the Cass County line and over to Lee Summit. It is going to dilute our strong Republican base somewhat, but I am confident that we'll even get some Democrat votes. People know me from spending 23 years here on Fox 4. They know I care about people. They know I'm going to work hard for people, and our office has proven that we don't just represent Republicans when it comes to constituent casework. We represent 772,047 individuals, and I've told you before, I'm just as comfortable in a cornfield down in Camden County dealing with farmers there as I am in the urban core helping folks there. So we are going to be a voice for everyone. We are going to fight for everyone. We may not agree on all the issues, but as I've proven in my past town halls when hardly any other Republicans were doing those, I will be listening to people, and I will be trying to understand where they're coming from, but we're not always going to agree.
Do you think you'll be running against Quentin Lucas?
Say that again?
Do you think you'll be running against Quentin Lucas?
I have no idea. He has not filed yet. I know he was campaigning last week over in Boone County, which leads me to believe, since that's no longer in my district, that's in the new district, the new 5th, and that's where Emmanuel Cleaver did file for re-election last week. So if anything, I would think that he would be running in that district. I have not talked to him about it. I have no idea what he has planned. I am not worried, though. We'll take on any formidable candidate, and we will win because we have the right message.
Mm-hmm. Well, Congressman, safe travels down to Jeff City. Enjoy filing for re-election, and we will talk to you soon. Thanks for being here this morning.
Thank you, Pete.
All right. Mark Alford, Missouri, of course, Congressman from the 4th District here on KCMO Talk Radio. Coming up next, the good, the bad, and the ugly from the weekend on KCMO.